And I'm glad we're out of that pile of transistors. You're lucky I had some business there. Or you'd still be plucking at those circuit boards with those little tweezers. Business. The kind of business I don't need. No one's gonna send me to any more godforsaken disutopias. There's a dirty little city down the Skyway that I call home. That's where we're going now. I don't know what you're gonna do there, but I got places to go and people to see. J'adore Betaville. Je voudrais être dans Betaville pour toute la vie. Betaville est mon amour. Ça roule. I never really loved anything but this city. The graphics on the neighborhood drugstore. The linoleum in the lobby of the Bijou. The curious expressions on the faces of the kids. The lonely ladies on the bar stools. The lonely men who try to talk to them. The sound of the garbage trucks in the morning, the traffic at midday, and the sirens at night. I love it all. Everything's different. Interesting. It gives me something to think about. Some people say it's all a bit too much. But to me, anything else is just too little. We drove all night, and we finally made it. Now, I did a lot of traveling, so I always kept my passport up to date. But she didn't have one. So it was under the dashboard for her. She was looking pretty tired and hungry. And this was my hometown, so I knew exactly where I'd take her for something to eat. I told her to get something in on the radio, but every station was playing the same lousy tune.
Green may not be worn with blue. Fashion is the dictum of a free people. The substance of a nation is style. Round-toed shoes may not be worn with pleated studs.
Betaville's always been a place a guy can feel at home. Full of quaint little bars and cafes where you can feel human again. Especially after being in a Bauhausian booby hatch, like where I found the girl. I'm through with that kind of technological tour de farce. I knew which cozy cafe I was taking her to. And I was looking forward to some chipped beef on toast with a lime Ricky. At the corner table, by the jukebox over at Santiago's on Woo Roo. When we got there, it didn't look too appetizing. It was around this time that I had my first encounter with the new elite. Novo homo, so to speak. The one on the right looked like Reginald Van Gleason III from Mars. The one on the left was a smug little character in silver. But the one in the middle, he looked like trouble. And I don't know who their tailor was, but he should get the chair for this. Their revolting display of public preening was making my pizza do flip-flops. At least she was enjoying herself. And I couldn't figure out whether they were after the girl or just trying to bone me. Then Reggie walks in with the invite. Going to a party with these futuristic fops from the funny pages wasn't exactly what I had in mind.
Thanks for the good time, Superman.
So you want to see the skyline? Home sweet home. I was thinking that spending the evening with some old city records might give me a clue as to what's changed everything and everybody. But anything I could come up with was just a shot in the dark. Maybe if I had spent the whole night with my notes, I could have come up with a few conclusions. But she had other things in mind. At daybreak, I took it to Schopenhauer Square Park. But it wasn't there anymore. After running into a similar set of dead ends, a masochistic curiosity persuaded me to find out how these model citizens entertained themselves. and I decided to make a clean getaway. Besides, that lousy music was giving me migraine. I thought I'd take a walk and have a smoke. And I spotted a friendly face and asked him for a light. And he gave it to me. And I guess people aren't as friendly as they used to be. And I started thinking about the girl, all alone out there. But I wasn't sure whether I was just feeling responsible for her, or maybe I was in love. I don't know. Hello? Anybody there? Hello? Tennis. Nothing. No points scored. It seems like every time I get mixed up with a woman, and everything seems to go haywire, like everything else in this crazy town. Especially a dame like her. Kinda naive, vulnerable. Who knows what she's involved with by now. And this time I was really hard-pressed to do anything about it. Because I'm just a stranger in this city now. No one would even give me the time of day. And I've never been the kind of guy who went in for rough stuff. But I was getting tired of being pushed around. And I decided to head back to my office. Betaville, May 9th, 3 a.m. I figured that coming back to Betaville, things might be a little different. I'd heard rumors on the outside. But this is ridiculous. Almost scary. It's like when you were a kid and your parents left you alone in the funhouse. Then it isn't fun anymore. Someone must be making a lot of money off of this. And the girl I'm stuck with, she's eating it all up. They may think it's fashion, but to me it looks more like contamination. But who's the contaminator? And for that matter, who's this blonde that keeps trailing me? I hate blondes. Not that I want to be a part of this fashion fairyland, but I'm beginning to feel a little obsolete, like an AM radio. This isn't exactly what I had in mind. Nah. Maybe I'll find her. Maybe she'll come to her senses. Maybe she'll see Betaville for the postmodern nightmare it's become. Maybe I was fooling myself. I knew that I was the alien, and she could go either way. I spotted a woman who looked vaguely familiar. She could have been the singer at the Torch Lounge, or the waitress at the Terminal Diner. Here you go, doll. And I was wondering if that could be me, if I stayed here long enough. But somehow, I knew that wasn't gonna happen. I knew that fate was catching up with me, closing in on me, was right behind me, flashing its brights in my rearview mirror, and time was running out. I became obsessed. I knew what I had to do. Find the girl. Get her out of this. Set things straight once and for all. This isn't exactly what I had in mind.